What is the soul group? What is the soul? That's the first question that you who are listening to this video needs to reflect upon. And I know I have done a lot of videos on the soul, but still, you need to ask yourself, what is the soul? Now, we could say that the soul is light. Yeah, we could say that. The soul is a sun. But the soul is so much more than that. You see, the soul is what I like to call a black sun. The soul is a black light. And in the black light, you can extract various colors from that one light. The soul is the father of the ego. That's right, the father of the ego. The soul is the life giver. It's the life giver. See, the body is feminine. The body is represented by the feminine principle or by the female. But the soul is masculine, or dealing with the masculine principle. So the soul in you is masculine, but your body is feminine. Now you might say that sounds rather gay, homosexual, to be coming from a male. But see, you don't want to deal with science. You want to deal with conditioning and what you've been told by the world, or what you've read in certain religious texts. And you read about Eve being extracted from the rib of Adam. So then now you feel like as a man you came first in the fleshly realm. But no, you did not come first. You see, because there's two creation stories, even in the Bible. So I could just stick to the Bible and still prove to you, without a shadow of a doubt, that the feminine principle was first on this earth. Because in the two creations, you have one, which is in Genesis chapter 1, that talks about male and female created he them. You see, male and female. Then you go into the doctrine of Eve being extracted from the rib of Adam, which is in Genesis chapter 2. So there's two creation stories. There's two creation stories. And when you deal with the second creation story, and you read about Eve, see, Eve is not Hebrew. And Genesis was revealed in Hebrew. And in Hebrew, Eve's name was Nekeba. Nekeba means leader of a tribe. You see, Eve was the leader and Adam was the teacher. And this is why here in the West, your relationships, and even some even in the East, even in Africa too, your relationships aren't working now because you aren't sticking with the feminine principle. In that the woman is the leader. And I know you're like, whoa, this is way off. I know you're thinking to yourself, this is like way off. I'm a man, I'm the alpha male, and the woman follows me. That's in European patriarchal society. But prior to that, Nekeba was the leader, but Adam is the teacher. So it's not to say that Adam followed up behind Eve and she called the shots, because you got to ask yourself, if Adam was the teacher and Eve was the leader, then who taught Eve? Who taught Eve if they were married? It was Adam. And you want to know why? Because the instructions was given to Adam to not to eat of certain trees and to stay away from certain trees. Those instructions were given to Adam. Very important here. So he was instructed, which made him the teacher now. Because once you're passed on information that people don't know around you, you become their teacher. So Adam was the teacher. But Eve was the leader. And you know why Eve was the leader, even in the story? Because Adam followed up behind Eve and ate from that tree. So he didn't do what he was instructed to do as a teacher. Because as a teacher, even though you're following someone, but if you're a teacher, you're supposed to question your leader. So if your leader brings you information telling you to do something, and you're a teacher, an educator, anybody that deals with Education 101, the law of Socrates teaches you to ask questions. Because when you ask a question, that shows that you are on a quest. That's right. That shows that you are on a quest when you ask a question. So you ask your leader a question. See, there's nothing wrong with following people. But the thing is that followers and leaders, the people that are following the leaders aren't good followers. You aren't a good follower because you don't question your leaders. You take what they say on face value, just like Adam did when he didn't question Eve about eating from the tree. He just ate from it and didn't question her because God instructed him. I know you are thinking, what God are you talking about, Ramhotep? You don't believe in God. It's the principle in the story. This is a metaphysical story, and it's the principle that is involved in the story. And I have not strayed far from the soul group. This all goes back to the soul group. So, your soul is the masculine part of you. In the ancient doctrine, the male was responsible for instilling the soul into the woman and the children, the light. You see, in the Bible it talks about the sons of God mixed with the daughters of men. You see, so it was God's sons that were responsible for bringing the soul to this planet. And there are only certain type of males that can be considered gods that bring the soul to the planet. These are males that are in tune with dark matter information. That's right, because the soul is a black sun. It's a black sun. And I'm not speaking on racism here. I'm not speaking on racism here. This is a metaphysical principle. I'm not talking about, because I don't consider myself black. That's one thing you must remember. Because black and white and you identifying with that as far as a race is something that came from the caste system based on the Hindu doctrine, whereas those that were white were considered the nobles and those that were black were considered the slaves or the servants to the nobles. So when you deal with the term black, it goes back to the caste system. So I would never call myself black. I know the etymology of the word black. So when I talk about the black sun, I'm not speaking of it in a sense that because you may think I'm black. And that's why I'm saying that, because I'm teaching racism. No, this is a metaphysical principle. It's a metaphysical principle. When I'm talking about the black sun, I'm talking about dark energy, whereas the soul being the light, basically the different shades of light that the soul reflects all goes back to blackness, because all lights when put together become black. When you put red, blue, yellow, green, all the lights together, you get black. Black has all the colors in it. So I'm not speaking from a racism point of view. I'm speaking of the energy that the black sun has. You see, this is energy. And people misinterpret the soul and they want to label it the light and put certain colors on it when the soul captures all light. So therefore it is dark matter energy, dark terrestrial energy that people don't realize and don't understand what the darkness is. So when you start talking about finding your soul group, you cannot be a racist. You cannot be a racist, because in finding your soul group, you're going to find aspects of yourself in people that are not your particular race. You're going to find aspects of yourself that are not your particular gender or your particular sex, because your soul group was that original energy, that original flame that a group of you incarnated from. It is important in this day and time to find that original energy, that original dark light, to find that in people around you and to form a spiritual alliance with those people, to form a spiritual network with those people, to become a spiritual economist with those people. Because when you bring together a group of people that are from the same soul group and you work on a project, you are unstoppable. There's nothing you could do. You see, the reason why most people are not successful in life, with business, with all aspects of life, is because they have not found their soul group, or those members that are involved in their soul group. They're not working with and networking with those particular individuals, because they weren't taught to do this in the Matrix. Because the Matrix teaches you to isolate yourself, to go get a job, to get you a nice car, to live in a home by yourself or a cave by yourself with your wife and children. And you don't have any networks. You don't network with other people because you have no need to, because you go to someone else to get money from them. You don't produce anything. This is what the Matrix has taught you. But when you start to get into the system and the doctrine of finding your soul group, that's where your success will come. You see, we want to start businesses. We want to do all of these different things. But we haven't even found the people that are involved in our soul group to move out with. We haven't even worked with the energy correctly. You see, as a spiritual business person, I work with energy. I work with energy. So I know that the money is just energy. And if I'm connected with the right people in my soul group, we will attract all the money that we need, because I'm connected with the right energy. And when I connect with the right energy, I create a vortex. Create a vortex. And from that vortex, we can channel and bring down anything that we want from the fourth dimension into this plane. I don't care if it's land. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's you guys are looking for soulmates. I don't care what it is. If you connect yourself, you start to connect yourself with your soul group and like individuals, you can get anything that you want. You see, the problem is, in most of our relationships, we either connect with people to try to change them, or we connect with people because it's convenient. That's right. For instance, you connect with the people at your job because you work with them. You probably don't like them, but you connect with them because you guys work together and it's convenient. And in this blocks your energy, because like attracts like. You have to connect with people that are like you so that you can attract the things that you want. You're not isolated. You are not an island. We're interdependent. We must study the ants, the bees, those different insects that work together to build something. You see, you're only independent in the sense of you being independent to express yourself the way you want to. But you still have to and are obligated to finding your soul group. Because when we incarnated here as energy beings. We were energetic beings. And that energy split off into different individuals. So in that, you divided yourself when you became an individual from that original energy that you once were. When you were that original energy, you were multiple beings. So when you find your soul group, what you are doing is you are finding those individuals that were a part of that original energy. And from there, you begin to work with them. Some of you may be the leaders. Some of you may be the teachers in this particular group. Some of you may be the artists. Some of you may be servants. But once you know your natal chart, and you learn about your ego and what you are to do here on this planet, you should have no problem playing your position. You see, we need to start dealing with we again. We're caught up on I. And like I said, I stops at you finding your gifts. Once you find your gifts, then you connect with those people that are in your soul group so that you can share these gifts. We're all interdependent. We should all be a part of spiritual networks. We all have to play our positions, but we have to know where we came from in order to do that. You see, the men must know that they came from women. All men came from women. All beings on this earth came from the womb. So of course the woman is first on a terrestrial level. But on a soul level, the male is first. And the soul is the educator. So when you form alliances with the males and females, you should know. When you are forming an alliance with a female, you should realize that she is a natural born leader. But you are still to instruct her. Because as an atom or atum, the instructions were given to you. As a male, listen to this video. And as a Nikkei Ball, as a tribal leader, the woman is the leader. And women naturally lead. They naturally lead. And they're great leaders because they include everybody. They include everybody. It's just sometimes you can't lead if you don't have a vision. Where there is no vision, a people shall perish. So the male provides the vision. He provides the vision and gives the vision to the female, and she leads. You still need her. Didn't you watch Pinky and the Brain? The Brain wouldn't be shit without Pinky. He wouldn't be shit without Pinky. Because he would just be a brainiac. You see, that's the example of how it should be when you connect with your spiritual group, your soul group. When you form alliances with those people that you share the same spirit with, the same soul with, the same dark matter energy with, regardless to race, regardless to religion. Stop being an individual, and become one again. And when I talk about becoming one, see, this is not no Martin Luther King, I have a dream type of thing where we're all just laying down together and we're all one. I'm talking about deeper than that. I'm talking about on a spiritual level, connecting with those individuals that you are like. See, I'm not just talking about any random person. I want to make that clear. I want to make that clear because I don't want people to mistake and think that I'm speaking of just some random individual out there walking up and down the street and that's just find them and begin to work with them. I'm not talking about that. And I love Martin Luther King. I'm not saying anything against Martin Luther King. I'm just not speaking on that level. He was talking about just nations and everybody just randomly coming together as one. When you study spirituality, you know that some people you are not like. And I'm not talking about on a race level. I'm just saying internally. Some people you do not share the same elements. See, in astrology, we deal with elements. There are fire creatures. There are water creatures. There are earth creatures. There are creatures of ether. So you have to find those individuals that you are like based on the elementals, working with the elements, regardless to their race, regardless to their sex. And you work with them. And when you find those individuals in your soul group, you will become successful because now you will be working with energy You would have united energy that was once together before you fell to this realm. And when you unite that energy into a pyramid, basically you form a portal, and from that you can call anything into existence that you want once you find the members of your soul group and begin to work with them. Karma may get in the way because we all came from different paths and backgrounds. Karma is like rubbish that you must clean off. It's the residue, the shit that you must clean off so that you can get to the core essence of the diamond aspect of that particular individual. You see the diamond in that person and you work with that. And this goes for soulmates, spiritual networks, or people going into business together, people that are in polygamous situations, people that form think tanks together and work together on a think tank level. Any person that you are working with, you may need to make sure they're in your soul group, your spiritual network, meaning that they share the same energy that you had, and the same energy that is in them, you guys share it, and it was a part of the original blueprint of the universe. You came from the same energy pocket or the same energy orb. You became different entities. You need to find those individuals again. And there's ways, for those of you that are interested, there's ways to find out if the person is in your soul group. And this goes for business partners on any level. You need to find out what was your relationship with this person, if any, in a past life, and is this person in your soul group? So I hope that helped. Hope you got something from this video. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll leave you in peace.